Hey everyone, Michael Leach from Professional Auto. I'm going live today. So today I want to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart, and it's ethics in auto repair. Um, so one of the most common things that I see is people come to me and they have a problem and they didn't get their car fixed, and they say, "Man, I took it to this other shop and they got me. They got me. They took my money. They ripped me off." And usually what happens is when we go look into the situation that they didn't get them, they didn't rip them off, they didn't steal from them. There was no bait and switch. It was just simply a matter of the customer had a set of expectations that were not met. Now that doesn't change the way the customer feels, and really that's what's important. If you want to keep your customers, you have to keep your customers feeling good. They have to leave feeling like they were treated fairly. They have to leave feeling like they got a good deal, that you care about them. If they don't feel these things, they're not going to be happy no matter what went on. And so what I wanted to talk a little bit was about how to avoid being in that situation where you go to the auto repair shop and you walk away and you go, "Man, they got me." Obviously choosing a good shop is going to be really important, because good shops are generally good shops because they don't make people feel that way. But what is it? What's actually behind the scenes? Let's drill into that. And I want to start with this by saying the first thing that I normally see, and near and dear to my heart, is Hanlon's razor, which is a philosophical concept that says, "Never attribute to malice that which can be adequately explained by stupidity." And he's got a really great point there in that what he's saying is that a lot of times when you walk away and you say, "Oh man, that guy got me," what actually a lot of times probably happened was the person's professional processes and practices weren't adequate and resulted in customer dissatisfaction. So in the state of Virginia, in terms of auto repair ethics, we have the Consumer Protection Act component, Auto Repair Act of Virginia. And one of the things it states is that any repair facility, in writing, in letters at least a quarter-inch high, must display the consumer rights. And here's ours, very not fancy. It's going to show up backwards because the phone on selfie mode, but see, consumer rights. And there's really three major points to the Auto Repair Act Virginia. Number one, the customer may receive a written estimate upon request. All of your good shops are on top of this. They're going to give you a written estimate with parts, labor as a breakout, tax as a breakout, shop supplies as a breakout, and you're going to have to authorize that electronically in some capacity or another, sign it, do something. You're going to have to verify some authorization. This is an example of one of our estimates, and you can't see it very well, but you'll notice there's different line items here, and each individual job has totals for the parts, totals for the labor, warranty information is written on there, notes about the repairs, all that information, supplies, tax, everything individually, and each individual job has to be authorized by a customer before we'll begin work. We use an electronic system, so we push things to you by text, and number one, it complies with step one of the Auto Repair Act of Virginia, stating that the customer may receive a written estimate of request, and number two, it keeps things transparent, keeps our customers happy. Second component of Auto Repair Act of Virginia, we don't really run across this because we really stick to our estimates, but it says no repair work charge may exceed the written estimate by more than 10% unless the additional work has been authorized by the consumer. That's a really important one in Virginia. This is the one, and this is one right there. And these are Consumer Protection Act items. These are a big deal legally. Auto repair shops in violation of Consumer Protection Act not only can be sued for the dollar amount associated with the repair, but also for penalty and damages and penalties. The third stipulation, Auto Repair Act of Virginia, just basically says if we charge a fee for diagnosing or doing a written estimate, that we have to disclose that. Number four says the facility shall offer to return all replaced parts except warranty, core charge, or trade-in parts required to be returned to a manufacturer. In our system, when you approve jobs and you go in, one of the things you have to click is return parts, yes or no. We retain every single part that we put on a car. If we take a part off of a car, we retain that for a minimum of 3 days, usually as often as 2 months to 2 weeks before we dispose of that part, just so we make sure we're 100% in compliance with that if anybody has any questions. It is a good thing, if you really have a trust issue, you can ask for the part to be returned to you. That is one thing to do. And these points in the Consumer Protection Act are really important because the Consumer Protection Act, like I said, does carry penalties, legal penalties and damages for a facility is found to be in violation, not just, a conflict associated with the repair. If you start talking about contract law, you paid me to do X and I said this and you feel like I didn't do it, then we each have to pay for our own attorneys and then damages are limited. Consumer Protection Act, you can force auto repair shop to pay for your attorney. So auto repair shops really ought to be engaged in that. But that's just a brief overview of what's present in the state of Virginia. One of the things you can look at, the consumer rights poster in good auto repair shops, good facilities. And, if what you're really looking to do is find out, hey, can I trust my auto repair facility? Really the biggest things are, look at the facility. Do they have certifications? Are they a Napa Auto Care Center? Are they a CarQuest TechNet? Do they have ASE certified technicians? I will tell you, you'll hear technicians all the time say, oh, ASE certification doesn't mean nothing. I knew this guy that was ASE certified master technician. He couldn't fix a sandwich. Yeah, maybe that guy exists. That's true. But, I'll tell you what, you've got doctors that graduate from medical school with a C, and you've got doctors that graduate from medical school with an A, but they all graduated from medical school and they all have a degree, they all have a diploma. And nobody's going to try to make the argument, oh, yeah, that one doctor, he had a medical degree and he wasn't any good. Well, that's true. It is true. But the really, really good ones all got the degree and have A's. In my experience, a lot of your really, really good technicians either have or have had ASE certifications. You can see all mine on the wall behind me. I like it when my guys get mine. I don't force them to. They've held several of them. They hold manufacturer certifications. We do in-house training. I'm a huge advocate for certification and for training. It's one of the things to look at. Another thing to look at your reviews. Look at online reviews for places and not just look at the content of the reviews, because anybody can generate fake reviews that say, I went there and it was great. It was so fantastic. No, look and see, do they name the employees of the establishment by name? Do they talk about the type of car they had, talk about the type of service? And then finally, is the owner or the manager of the facility responding to each and every review? If you go look at ours, I've responded to almost all of ours. We have some legacy reviews that were ported over from the other shop that are like 3 years old. I don't have comments on those. But anybody that comes in, I try within a day or two. If it's a negative review, I jump on it right away because I want the opportunity to talk to them, find out what happened, try to make it right. As a positive review, I try to jump on it right away to say thank you to our customer and just say, hey, I really appreciate it. But that's a great thing to look at is the shop responding to reviews, and look at the interaction there online to see if it's something that makes you feel good. And then finally, if you want to look for a great shop, you want to network, you want to talk to people, you want to find somebody's smiling face on Facebook, find people you have a relationship with, and find people that you want to do business with. I like doing business locally when I can. I feel like keeping my money in my community is a big part of it. If I'm spending money with somebody, and they're in my community, then I know that investment stays in my community. And even if they don't do business with me directly, even if they never come into my place of business, maybe they give business to somebody else that is my customer, or maybe they donate to the local Little League, or maybe they, if nothing else, keep our money in our communities, keep our community strong. It's really one of the things to focus on in this world where there's a lot of angst about national level and dealings with China and everything else. In terms of our service provider, we can bring them, we can keep that in our communities and take care of each other. So a quick chat, my mom calls them fireside chats, so that's mine for the day. So look, everyone, thank you for watching me. It's Michael Leach from Professional Auto, and I hope everyone has a great weekend. Bye.